I'm sure people has seen the situation out in Libya and the amount of people who are dying at the hands, yet again, of Colonel Gaddafi. We would call on the world to stand by the innocent victims in Libya, to support the Libyan people who are taking a stand against this terrorist. He was a terrorist 40 years ago, or 30 odd years ago, when he financed, trained and armed the IRA, who fought a campaign, or didn't fight a campaign, who inflicted a murderous campaign on our community here in Northern Ireland. Without Gaddafi, that campaign could never have happened. Over 2,000 odd people would not have died if it hadn't been for Gaddafi giving them the weapons, the expertise and the money to finance a terrorist campaign. Now finally the people in Libya have taken a stand and they're fighting against this evil dictator. And as victims, we intend to travel out there to show solidarity with the victims in Libya, because they're no different than ourselves. They're no different in them and the victims of the 9/11 or the 7/7 or the victims here in Northern Ireland. And people say, well, why are you born going out to Libya? Like, it's dangerous out there. It may be dangerous, but the whole point of going there is to show the people in Libya that they're not on their own, that there is people here who do care about what happens to them. And whatever help or support we can give, we will give it, because these are innocent victims. These are the people who have suffered at the hands of a terrorist godfather. But they have suffered the way we suffered here in Northern Ireland because of terrorism. And we want to send a clear message to the terrorists that we are all united. No longer can you pick on innocent civilians within a community, no matter where that is. Let it be in Colombia, let it be in Libya or Italy or France or Spain. The victims are going to come together and send a clear message that no longer will you terrorists get away with terrorising the people, butchering the people the way you have. And I have to say, Jerry Donaldson was for travelling out with us, and he was game enough to go, but the Foreign Office has advised against any travel to Libya. Quite understandable. We appreciate their view, but they don't understand that for 40 years we have lived with bombs and shootings and intimidations in South Armagh. The only difference is some of these boys, when we go out there, we'll actually be able to see them coming. When we lived here in South Armagh, you couldn't see them coming, because they're usually lying in behind a hedge somewhere or in some shock, hiding until you went past, and then they come out and shot you in the back. But the whole idea of it is to show the solidarity, and it's also to show people. The funders have been trying to close our organisation down by withholding money off us. They haven't realised yet or understood that this is not about money. This is about justice. It's about what is right and what is wrong. And you can do all the dirt you want, but as victims we will show that we're not afraid to get up and show solidarity with other victims in another part of the world who are no different than us. They're innocent victims. And we will make sure that they will not be tripped up the way we were tripped up, because the government probably has the best wishes, or the future government has the best wishes at heart for the victims, but we will be trying to advise them on some of the things that they need to make sure is put in place to help the people who have suffered during this campaign of Gaddafi's. Because here in Northern Ireland, there is an attempt to get rid of us. There is an attempt to shut us up. And we even hear the Justice Minister talking about people has to stop throwing the past up, because the majority of people don't want to hear about it. We are the ones that come through it for 40 odd years. So for Mr. Ford to come out and for to tell us to shut up and go away and not annoy the good people, Well, where was them good people when they needed to be here to protect the community? It wasn't Mr. Ford or people like him that was out protecting the community. It was the ordinary people within the community who actually cared about what went on within the community. And it shows you how much Mr. Ford and them cares. They don't care. And they think if they starve the leg of ourselves or Fontaine, or if they try and throw some dirt at us, that it'll stick. Well, we'll not be intimidated. Not by Mr. Ford or Mr. McGuinness or any of them parties who think they will trump out over the victims. All we're looking is to be dealt with properly, and for the people to be looked after properly. You have pumped millions upon millions into looking after the terrorists. You will tell the people you have put millions into the victims. Well, I will debate that with anybody, anywhere, anytime, and I don't care how many of them is there. The money is not coming into the victims, especially in areas like South Armagh. Not one penny is coming to help the victims directly in South Armagh. And people will congratulate us for going to Libya. People will condemn us. But we're out there for one reason and one reason only, and that is to help the people, the innocent victims in Libya, and to show solidarity with them people, that they're no different than what we are. We suffered because of Gaddafi, they're suffering because of Gaddafi, and we want to make that quite clear, that we stand shoulder to shoulder with them. And because they will have the David Fords in their country, they will have the Martin McGuinnesses in their country. Different names, same type of people who don't care when this is all over. As long as they're alright, Jack, they will not care about the ordinary innocent victims who have come through the hardship and suffered, and indeed some of the people who have paid a price in removing Gaddafi. Because remember this, Gaddafi has to go. One way or the other, Gaddafi will go, because he armed, financed and trained a terrorist organisation because one bomb was dropped on his home. Well, I don't know how many bombs has been dropped out there, but there's a lot more than one. So they can't leave him in place, because this man will arm every terrorist organisation around the world if he's allowed to stay in power. So he has to go. And that's what we are going out there to stand along with the victims to say, if they stand firm, the West will have to remove him, because they cannot allow him to stay on so that he can arm and train and finance other terrorist organisations, or indeed the same terrorist organisations that he has in the past. So let's be quite clear about that. Gaddafi will go. We just want to make sure that the people who are paying the price for Gaddafi to go are looked after. Not what happened here in Northern Ireland, where we have the Mr. Fords and the Mr. McGuinnesses. McGuinness trying to write history and Ford telling the innocent victims to keep quiet and go away. Like, we're under no illusion that it will be dangerous to go out here. So we're not taking this lightly to travel to Libya, because like the Foreign Office has told us not to go, that is too dangerous. But myself and Mr. Ganesh and a couple of other individuals has decided that the issue is too important to be left without being addressed. So we will travel, we will cross the border into Libya, and we will try to do all we can to raise the issue of the innocent victims in Libya, and to show that we stand shoulder to shoulder with them. And hopefully it will encourage them when they see people from other parts of the world who are not interested in oil or interested in anything else. They just want to show solidarity with the innocent victims in Libya.